What's up, everybody? Lawler here, twitch.tv/Lawler, hanging out live with chat. Bear with me, I am sick, so we're gonna do our best of ability to like provide some energy in this, but pretty straightforward for the video today. We're gonna talk about two different things. Number one, how the teams came to be. We've got NA Regional 1 coming up this weekend. So we have the seeds, how they are and why they are the way that they are. And then number two, we're going to actually do some predictions. We're going to go through where I think teams are going to be. We've got some early looks at some of the closed qualifier teams. And a big thing that makes this all possible is actually a link that I'll leave in the description down below. If you guys haven't seen this, community member by the name of Adam Core, every single split makes a document that allows you to do predictions very easily. And he's updated it yet again. If you go into the main page, and a link to this, like I said, will be in the description down below. Or you can come to my stream and type ! Spreadsheet and it'll pop up. You need to do file and make a copy. So then you have the ability to edit it. And then you can see the Swiss qualifiers, which is new. He added in the qualifiers. He's also got the results of Swiss, the main event seating, which we'll talk about here in a bit. And then the main event where you can, after typing in like, hey, G2 is going to 3-0, and it'll auto populate, which is really cool. A lot of nice implementation. It also updates the points and everything here. And updates for all the teams if you need to plot in. Like, you have the ability to manipulate this and change the teams if you want to on your own. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with this document. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the main event seating. A lot of people have been trying to figure out who the heck is where and why. And a lot of people aren't really sure as to why certain teams are placed the way that they are in the bracket. The big thing to pay attention to in this is how seeds are actually done. There is 3 rules of how it applies. The first thing they do is they take the teams that are your top 8 and they automatically give them a bid. So if you look at the main event, there's 8 teams that are automatically put in no matter what. Complication actually comes in where why is Rogue sitting in 7th overall above teams like Envy and everything else. The way that they do it is after they give these teams 8, they then find based upon Swiss the other 8 that are joining them, and then they reseed them after that. So once you get your 16 teams into the main event, be shown here, they then take the 3 most recent events, which is actually shown very easily on this document. So here's their points overall, and even with NRG having the second most, they're taking the 3 most recent events, the major, and then the regional 3 and regional 2, adding those up, and that is then what it gives us our total. So RLCS overall points determines if you get an automatic bid as the top 8. Then after they get the 16 teams from the lower or the closed qualifiers as well, they then take the points of all 16 teams, take the 3 most recent events, and that's how they seed them accordingly. If they are tied, like we've seen certain teams like Ghost and All Mid, they then take the overall points again. They want to say, hey, short term, these three results are better, and then after that, hey, if they're still tied, let's see how they do for the entire season. And that's how we'll determine who goes above and below. So it may look a little bit confusing. Like, these 2 are tied, but overall RLCS points, Sonic says more, so they get the 10th seed. Similar result here. Ghost, tied, more points, throw them in. So if they're still tied after all of that, then they go into the most recent event, which is the closed qualifier, and give the determination there. That is how seeding is done. That's how we get our 16 teams and the roles in the places that they're at. If we take a look at the bracket, we have our matches as follows. Double elimination, straight up. You win, you move on. If you lose, you drop down to lowers. If you lose in lowers, then you go home. Because it is double elimination, that means that the grand finals is a bracket reset. Because this team who gets in from the uppers has yet to lose. They have to lose twice in order to be eliminated. Everybody's got 2 lives. So we're going to crush through this pretty quick. We're going to go through and talk about where we think people are going. I'm going to try to, for the most part, give you guys an unbiased take on this and explain certain circumstances as to why. I know people are going to claim I'm biased anyway, even though I have no affiliation with V1, but we'll see how it goes. So first and foremost, G2 versus Friends. Friends is the team that surprised everybody. Nobody has any idea of where they came from, but awesome to see. Unfortunately for them, I do think they're going to go probably 0-2. They're going up against the very best team in G2, who looks absolutely phenomenal. With Atomic, they're only going to get better. And the only time I see any of these teams kind of losing or dropping off is as if they took a little bit too much of a break. But the only time friendship works is anime, and we're not watching an anime. So sorry for them. Up next, Envy Complexity. Complexity is still back on the grind as compared to Envy with a new player in Illusion. A lot of people pretty concerned about that one. We actually saw a tweet from Turbo to the BDS story after BDS announced Seiko, and how Monkey Moon is like, yeah, I talked to Mark, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Turbo replied that, and he's like, oh, I wonder what that's like, implying he wasn't talked to about the decision to change the roster. So pretty scary stuff there. But Envy with Illusion, I'm actually pretty excited to see. I haven't seen anything from them. But because it is a new roster, I do think Envy, although will be better, I think right now I'm going to give it to Complexity in 5. I think Complexity is still a top 6 team easily, as long as they are playing. So I will be excited to see how that one plays out. V1 over All Mid. All Mid's a good team, but V1, if they keep playing their playstyle, should be fine. Also, all the guys being local will be very helpful. We'll be casting this match and this match, so that'll be going on. I do think V1 has finally shown that they are better than other teams, and that they aren't going to concede to teams below them. Up next, Energy versus Ghost Gaming. A lot of people are excited about the new Ghost Gaming team. I think their new addition, no longer rolled is, bringing in Hoxer, has looked really, really good according to qualifier stuff. But if you look at the qualifiers and who they played, Gentleman, All Mid, and Shopify Rebellion, although they go 3-0, the fact that they're going 3-2 against Shopify kind of surprises me. I'm gonna hold reservations on Shopify for a little bit, or for Ghost Gaming for a little bit. Energy, a lot of people want to be doubters of. This is the first time that Energy is not the #1 seed, so that's pretty interesting. The other side of it is Energy still the only elimination that they got. Like, they went to 5 against Queso in the lower bracket and had 3 overtimes. Like, they're still a really, really good team. When it comes to local competition in the regional, I think Energy is still the team to beat. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a sweep, but I want to give a credit to this new Ghost team. I still think Energy is very, very good, and who knows what their new play style is going to become. But Energy as a base is still better than a lot of teams. FaZe Clan should stomp Accelerate. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a sweep. Rogue versus Sonics I think will be really close. I'm actually going to give it to Sonics. Rogue, to me, I lack confidence in them. I wouldn't be surprised if Sonics actually ends up winning that one. Rogue should win, if I'm being honest. Rogue should win, but I think Sonics will get the upset. A Crew's actually really good. I think that'll go to 5. No, it'll probably be 2. This is the former Vibrance roster, who I think is a really good team. But they're going up against Space Station, who has more confidence with Daniel. It'll probably be a 3-1, maybe a 3-0 even, now that I think about it. But I expect a Crew to give a fight. If Space Station starts slow, it could be upsetting, but I doubt it. And then Oxygen's Charlotte Phoenix. Charlotte Phoenix did have the best performance in Swiss. They did go 3-0. They looked very convincing doing it. They only dropped 1 game to United, but beating Exet and Friends. Charlotte Phoenix looked really, really good. The issue with Charlotte Phoenix has always been consistency. Oxygen, though, we haven't seen in a really long time. Are they going to continue to show top 6 performance? They got 6th every single time in winter. I think it'll be close. We'll probably go to Oxygen. LJ is just too good, man. LJ is just too good. Plus, then we get the rematch here. We'll then go to our lowers. Envy should win that. Ghost should win. It'll probably go to 5, though. Rogue versus Accelerate. I could see Rogue going out, but we'll give them the win. And then I actually think a Crew over Charlotte Phoenix. We go to the top. G2 versus Complexity. I think G2 is just the better team. V1 Energy. This one's going to 5. V1 has had Energy's number lately. It's honestly a coin toss. It legitimately, it's a coin toss. I'll give it to the boot camp buff. I mean, we've seen V1 place. They won Regional 3, a month off. They then take top 6. They won in their groups, and then they lost to FaZe and someone else. I forget the other team they lost to. Is it Space Station? I forget who their 2 losses were. Boot camp buff. I'm just saying. Yeah, SSG uppers, FaZe lowers. That's right. Thank you, chat. I know a lot of people are going to say I'm crazy about this, but like, I think people need to understand V1's a damn good team. And it's not even me being like biased or anything. I have no affiliation to V1 other than I cast their stuff. Personally, I think the reason I'm picking this is because I'm sick. And if I'm casting this on Friday, 2 matches and then I'm done for the day, I'd be okay with. That would be appreciated. Thank you. For the sake of me being sick. That is the hope. This is the sick buff for my prediction. FaZe Sonics. FaZe will probably 3-0 that. Space Station is probably 3-1's Oxygen. Oxygen Envy, I think, is a really fun match. I'm going to believe in Land Illusion. Sonic's Ghost. This is a coin flip. This is actually the best draw that you can get for either one of these teams. Rogue Screwed. Complexity Accrued. That's actually a really fun series. I'm going to believe in Complexity, though. Sonic's Ghost. I just need to see the Ghost team. I haven't seen the Ghost team. I would like to. We say it goes to 5. Sonic's is boot camping. We'll give him the boot camp buff. Sonics with the upsets, I'd be down. I really like Sonics. I really like the team. It'd be interesting to see. We go back to the uppers. V1 has beaten G2 every single time they've come in. V1 has always had G2's number. Regional 3, V1 1, Regional 1, V1 wins here, and then V1 wins here as well. So like in their last like 3 or 4 meetings, V1 has beaten G2. They have a really good track record against them so far. Their gameplay does counter them. Very demo heavy, stops with disruption. Even with Atomic, they just have to find a way to slow down Atomic, which is easier said than done. But V1 has a really good track record against G2. Phase Space Station. Ooh, that's a close one. I guess it depends on how they're playing on the day. That's the hardest part, right? I think both these teams have a chance to take it all, depending on how things go. Yeah, Phase can like pop off. Space Station also has that potential if Daniel's just vibing. Let's do this. I'm gonna go with Space Station. NV Sonics. I think no matter what's NV probably the better team. This one will probably be exciting. If Complexity's vibing on the day, I could see Complexity winning for sure. G2 I think is better. Phase Energy, also another coin flip, honestly. Let's do this. We then go here. I think Space Station wins it in 6. G2 Energy, huh? I'm gonna give it to G2, and then G2 actually finally gets the upset. I think G2 finally does it when it matters. Also, you have teams that lose here are like 66% more likely to lose here. And if this doesn't show it, then I don't know what will. The fact that V1 beats them every fucking time, and then the time that it doesn't, or the time that it matters most, like the amount of times that a team from here drops down and then loses again is like insane. That's just G2 in the grands. I think G2 wins the first one in a nail biter. And then this one I think is a coin flip, honestly. I think anytime you get to like this part of the bracket, like anytime you're in like top 4, top 5, or top 6, I should say, any like top 6 scenarios I think are just how they plan on the day. That's why it's so hard to do these predictions, because I ultimately just haven't seen any of these teams play. My predictions would obviously change throughout the day, but I'd probably go, I think G2, if they make it to the grand final, will actually probably do it and they close it out. I wouldn't be surprised. I think G2 is about to be scary. Only G2 back to form, guys. I think they've really solidified. A lot of people thought that G2 played bad last split, which I think is baffling. I forget who was talking about it, but like their losses came from Shopify right at the beginning in a reverse sweep, which should never happen. They lost to V1 twice. Regional 2, they won it. So Regional 2, they won the whole thing. And then in Regional 3, they lost to V1 again, I'm pretty sure. And then they dropped down to lowers and lost to Energy. Like, they had a really good split. And then they won the major. So now that they've been together for a while, I think G2 has potential to do some pretty damn scary things. That's what I have. Let's take a look at the full bracket. That's what I got for the full bracket. Obviously it's a little bit of downtime, so it'll be interesting to see what we get. But realistically, I look at all these teams, and I think right now, NA in general, and if this does happen, so if this does happen, results wise, it keeps things pretty much the same. Pretty crazy stuff. All NA grand final is biased. My bad, dude. But I legitimately take the top 6 because I don't know what we're getting out of Envy right now. I don't know what they're gonna look like with Illusion, but I think top 6 right now is pretty damn solidified. Like, I think NA has 6 really strong teams at the top, and then obviously you have upset potential with Oxygen. Envy, curious what we're gonna get. Ghost, who knows how Hawkster's gonna go. Exit, I think, was the biggest surprise for me in Swiss. Seeing this caught me super off guard. We'll see. Maybe the bootcamp buff with Sonics allows them to get a little bit further. Normally I would have Sonics probably a little bit lower, but them being able to play all mid and Ghost, I think helps a lot. I think they'll upset against Rogue. Rogue to me, I feel really weird. So that's what I've got. I think I'm pretty realistic about these. I think although V1 has had the number, it's going to come down to this match. This match is going to tell us a lot. And again, we could see Energy go up here. Who knows how that goes if Energy's here. That then opens up V1. They would drop down and play Rogue, which I think they would win. I think they can take Complexity again. So like, you're talking the difference between 3rd and what, like 6th. So, and those are the difference. That's the difference between going to the major or not. Having these results versus these makes a huge change of pace. So that kind of performance is pretty nuts. But that is going to do it for my predictions. I expect them to always be wrong because you just never know. I think towards the top, it's always a coin flip nowadays, which is always a good thing, but that is going to do it. Let me know who you guys have winning in the comments down below. Thank you for being patient with me because I am sick. Still trying to put out daily content, still trying to do that thing, but I'm out here. If you guys enjoyed the content, thumbs up, subscribe, notifications, you guys know what to do, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.